Okay, so, excuse me, I'm reading on Donald Trump and his family, and I'm just, excuse me, circling back. Mm. And again, this is the deck I'm using. The Viator Somniorium, alright? It's a cool deck. It's not a tarot deck, but it's an oracle deck. Okay. So I might have to take out the booklet here and there. Just for most of them I don't have to. I really do like this deck and highly recommend it. For those that, I mean, it is a very personal thing. Oh, and today is May 21st. Again, I'm sorry. I've got my window open and you can hear a lot of noise. But it's May 21st, and I'm going to be reading on the Trump family, and as things are heating up, apparently they are, especially Trumpy himself, freaking out. So I am just going to take a look and see what the universe wants to share with regard to this current heating up of circumstances, situations, what it looks like in the Trump camp, if you will, because he is, while still holding power, I think it's beginning, especially with Liz Cheney. She's going to be bringing something very much to disrupt their plans and to interfere with them. So it's going to get very interesting. Let's just take a look. So I want to take a look at the Trump family and the issues with the lawsuits and things like that, especially with, I guess, what really sent him into a tizzy was finding out that Tish James is joining on to, the investigations and yeah, anyway, it's additional into anything that was already happening. So it's like he is just fit to be tied, I'm sure. Let's take a look and see what our spiritual mentors and the Creator want to share with us. Okay, so the away. Let me just get a little grab a little sip of coffee. Well, this is him, I think, definitely trying to outrun consequences, because he's outrun them most of his life. What he's not counting on is that they're going to catch up to him, and he is not going to have Dad there or enough Russian help to wiggle him out of the problem that he's in, and especially with the United States government. He's going to be in so much huge trouble that really it's going to be staggering, just to the average person. And while Trump is no quote-unquote average person, because he's definitely a fake and a creep and a con man, it's going to finally really catch up to him. And again, it's going to spin his world around, because this man has never really ever, nor any of his family, had a good hard slap across the face, other than from, Fred Sr. or Donald slapping Donald Jr. around. That's outside of their own family, authorities really stepping in. They're used to being able to pay their way out, and it's going to be such a shock. Really, we have to really understand that to appreciate how flooring this is going to be. So right now they're trying to outrun consequences, but at the same time chase up opportunities because they're desperate. That's what this shows me. It'd be one thing if you just had that you're trying to catch up missed opportunities, but this shows me here that they're going to also have to step back from opportunities of income, of work that they want to do, because they're being pursued through litigation. So I think it's going to scare off a lot more income, and they don't have as much, I think, obviously, as they pretend to have. And I just think it's going to be very evident. And they're going to start to get low on their cash flow because their ability to act in the way that they want to and how they get money is going to be compromised. Now, here I'm shown laughter. And I just think people are going to be laughing at the absurdity of their audaciousness. They're going to be mocked even more. And this is in a formula kind of fashion. The universe is saying it's like a comedy. It's going to seem like a comedy to everyone else, but for them, because they've ignored common sense. They've also laughed at common sense and said it wasn't the truth. And when you don't respect the truth, facts, and you don't take it seriously, you're absurd. And I just feel like they're going to look absurd. And it's out of their own doing, out of their own disregard for the truth, and it catches up to them. But their response is somewhat, apparently, according to the cards, going to make us laugh. Because it's like, oh my God. And I think this is also saying the predictability that we'll have with their ridiculous response. There's definitely going to be hypervigilance because things with them are going to be heating up, as I said. So this card shows me on their part, they're wanting to get away from consequences. And so they're going to be looking into how they can do that, hiring people that they think can help them, trying to not pay them, I'm sure. And this card, Rebirth, we definitely know that they're trying to get him out there for have a new life at 20 for the next election. And they're trying to get him, back up and fighting for that. But I just think they've missed that opportunity. It's come and gone. He has lost. And they just have not accepted that fact. That they're deluded. So anyway, yes, we know that. They're looking for, I think, going to be looking for more people that they can take advantage of. But what I see happening here, what's going to be more funny about it is that they're going to act like they're completely innocent, and that's just going to be, we're going to see that the circumstances change for them, is what I'm being shown. That there's a new day for them, and that we're beginning to start to see I feel like them getting consequences, frankly. That these are consequences catching up to them. And us being aware and saying that they had that coming. I feel like with the vigilance, just watching it happen. And as again, it's saying it's somewhat funny. The universe is even saying it's somewhat funny because they've ignored common sense and they've laughed at the truth. But who's laughing now? Not them, just everybody else, including apparently the universe. Not kidding. Recurring dream. This is saying they've had more than one chance to correct themselves. And they have been very aware, but they've only used their awareness to get away with things rather than do things the right way. So it means they've willfully abused power, and when you do that and you abuse a gift of power from the universe, it's a serious consequence karmically. Okay, we get look within. They have only themselves to blame. They won't look within and accept self-responsibility. And again, I feel like the universe is saying, I've been trying to tell you that it's with you. It starts with you. But I don't even think with this rebirth that they're going to realize the problem is themselves. It's just still past lives. This is karmic. It's trying to let them know this is really important. This has gone on, but I'm sure they've ignored it because that's what it looks like. And they've even laughed at the idea of like, oh, this is going to hang over into another life. This is going to matter beyond an earthly life. I think they think that's funny too. Which is foolish, because it looks to me like I was just saying it's going to be hardly karmic, and what do we get? Past lives, and I'm talking about that very thing. And look at this. Okay, we get animal spirits. And elements. I feel like I'm being shown that the universe, the machine of the universe, the computer of the universe, if you will, through the use of the elements, which is the natural forces, and I think also habitation and other species, gonna be a somehow karmic, used karmically also against them. So I'm thinking like natural. It's I think they're also going to, in addition to what they're dealing with, like with human beings and our laws, it's showing me there's going to be maybe even some physical problems, some irregularities with their property or the land that it's on, this kind of thing. To me, this is like where they've upset the elementals, they've upset the balance. And they've done this not just this isn't the first time. They've really grievously mocked and not cared about the vulnerability of the environment and of those more vulnerable. And I'm thinking they have no idea how much of an offense that this really is to, I feel like, the universe, how the universe will deal with things. And it's mocking the universe. It's kind of what it's given me here. And I feel like they are going to be facing a moment where the smile is wiped off their faces, where it's a new day and a very new and different life from the one that they knew, where they were, I think, laughing and mocking everyone else and laughing at the rules, laughing at the truth. They're not going to be laughing anymore. And taking advantage of people who are foolish enough to believe them. Recurring dream makes me also feel like these are the recurring consequences. This is the recurring message that they've gotten over and over again, and it's just going to become louder and louder until it seizes them by the lapels and lifts them up off their feet and puts them in the situation that it feels best to address their disrespect that spanned over lifetimes. And it's largely disrespect for others other than themselves, including the environment. I mean, they've like, when you've gone that far to offend, you've gone far. We're shown the source. So universal forces are kicking in, is what it's saying, is going to be working on healing the great trouble they've left in their wake. This is because they've whipped up so much hate. People have died from this. The Capitol Police, they've whipped up all kinds of issues. Now, on the positive side, we can look at reform and clearing out the corruption they brought in. But it shows that they've done so much damage karmically that we don't even realize that requires the universe to heal, that the universe is going to make them pay. It's got to have, not just out of being like facetious, but because there is an imbalance, there is a debt. And they're going to have to pay the piper. They have to pay. Yes. Work. They have to experience. They have to feel the exertion and go through lifetimes of paying for it, is what I'm getting. That's very interesting. It's giving us a super deep dive, like in, past lives even. Oh, Kali. Yeah, she has to clear away their corruption. So, it's good to see Kali, because if without Kali, this corruption would just continue. And this is the clearing out of corruption. This is the destruction of the ego-based criminal types. Those who have a problem with authority, she's going to be taking them on. Ooh, I'm telling you, she's going to be putting strong black women, I'm not kidding, up against this family. Take note, folks, I'm not kidding. I believe that there's going to be a lot of women of color that are going to dismantle their bull. We'll see a strong... I'm sorry, hang on. We'll see a strong feminine force calling them on the carpet. They are not going to be able to wiggle free. This is the stuck card. And I think this is where hope comes in, that people hope that they will be held to account finally. This may also have to do with some beginning of confinement, of saying you cannot, you're banned from leaving, let's say, the country because you are under investigation, this sort of thing. That's what I'm feeling. This is letting me know, the dark goddess letting me know she's coming in to sort them out. And I would not want to be them. No, this is because it's gone really deep, very deep, past lives deep. They're going to get their clocks cleaned, and then some. I can only say that we'll have to just kind of sit back. But there's in other ways that we won't see that behind the scenes are deeper than we realize, deeper and more powerful in effect. This is because of them forever chasing, their greed. And they're running over the tops of people and allowing people, throwing people under the bus so for their own benefit. And this struck me as, the people that, like myself, those of us who read, who have been getting visions of this. This is what we've been seeing coming to manifestation, coming to Technicolor. And in addition to that now we start to see the visions that we've been having manifest of him being in really deep what. But I think that this will show, as they get into deeper trouble, I think we're going to see there's a certain inspiration that people will gain more confidence, perhaps in, of course, how the present government is dealing with them. But it is very clear, and people are very hopeful because they start to see real consequences kicking in, beginning to kick in finally. That toxicity and that little clique, those groups within that whole establishment. These people have their cliques and their groups. Imbalance, yes. And their trickery, their they're criminal. They will fall from power. Oh, yep. So this is on the Trump family and their friends. It's not looking good, is it? I'll leave it there because my voice is starting to go. So I have to rest my voice a little bit. But they will fall even more. Their lives are going to completely change. Radically. Now they're going to fight. And they're going to try. But I just don't think that they have the ability to see the bigger picture. I'm so sorry. Dream lover. Vlad, where are you? They are just completely deluded. They don't get it, and they aren't going to get it. They're not going to be able to see that bigger picture. Instead, they're going into deeper and deeper conspiracy. I think deeper and deeper things that don't make sense, or that are less rooted in reality. I just got that from these cards. They're really going full on cuckoo. And I really think here you're going to start to see it affecting the health. They'll deny it, but I think it'll come out in their health. Their body won't be denying it. I think the stress in particularly, and I think with health. I think with health with Trump and maybe other members of the family in various different ways. It says watch the health here. And this could also be substance. Engaging in a dreamy, altered state. I think so. I think Trump could end up having to go see a doctor or get medical counsel. And I think because of maybe hypertension, this kind of thing. Excitement, heart rate, blood pressure, I'm thinking, and agitation. Wasteland as his own toxicity, and has no way to escape it. The shame ain't shifting off of him. He's not able to blame anyone. And the stink is staying stuck on him. Give it time, it says. More and more things are going to make sense. More and more things are going to come together. We're going to get more details that fill in the gaps about what he's done behind closed doors. It's going to be very interesting. Just how out to lunch are these people? It's just, they are going to have a dark night of the soul. Oh, murder. That's not good. They might be connected to something that way. It could be that one of them gets in trouble for that. Some member. I wonder if that is Khashoggi. Let's see the next couple cards after that. And there's, okay, they're going to be, oof. I think that there's going to be a mess to do with their real estate business as well. They're going to go through a lot deeper issues. I mean, murder? Yeah. Again, I feel like they have yet to face that with, especially at least with Khashoggi, and there probably are, the children at the border, people that have died as a result. The mess in the way that they have left things. But I do see them paying. Ooh. And then all of a sudden, things really will pick up on them. And they will not be prepared. This is like impromptu, unexpected. And it's like you have to dig deep, fake it till you make it, or whatever. But something very suddenly begins to happen for them, and they are going to be afraid. And they will have loss. So that's the whole deck on the Trumps, you guys. That does not look good. I feel like it's loss of freedom, and I feel like it's just loss, not only financial loss, but further and further loss of stability and health. So it wouldn't surprise me if Trump's health went before he could be sentenced, but I still think the cards don't want to commit, even still to me, yet with that. It's just showing, and always continues to show me, there's so much yet to happen. There is so much yet to come out. And so there's still more playroom with how things could go and how he's going to have to respond. So this is going to be interesting. But he's on the only place Trump, folks, is going, and anybody connected to him is down, in case you hadn't already figured that out, or were worried again momentarily that somehow they could. No. This is just going to be totally Schadenfreude. So get your Schadenfreude cups. And he's going to be just getting more and more sticking to him like gum. Okay? All right, so if you appreciate my content, please make sure that you have liked and subscribed. Thank you, and tack on that alert button, and that way you'll know when I have my lives, which is on Thursday and Sunday, and that way you'll have a little reminder that you can set. But on Thursdays at 1 and on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am on live. And hopefully one day I will find somebody that I haven't yet collabed with that would be fun. I'm still looking to do that, but right now I'm just trying to keep my head above water. So anyways, still looking. Thank you so much for your time.